What's up, guys? TheDevildogGamer here, and today we're going to be talking about the issues with War Thunder. War Thunder is kind of notorious for balancing issues and putting in things that have no business being in the game. And, you know, as the 2S3, which we're going to come back to, has taught us anything, it's that, you know, there is a bit of Russian bias in this game, if you haven't figured it out. So, with this new update, we get the Pantsir S1. This is one of the newest shore ads in existence. When it comes to shore ads. And it is now the farthest reaching, most OP one in the game. I've been playing it for 2 days now. I've maybe shot down 4 aircraft because nobody brings anything in the air anymore if you're going against the Russians. I'm going to show you why. Not only can this thing track multiple targets, you can fire on 4 separate targets if you want to. Haven't been able to do that because I haven't seen 4 targets at once. Nobody wants to fly. This thing's range is the issue. It can launch at 20 kilometers, guaranteed 18 kilometers. So let's take that on over to the American side that has a really OP air defense, short-range air defense system, the ADATS, which doesn't even exist. This thing, it was a test bed, doesn't even exist. But this was the answer to the Ka-50 spam, the Ka-52 spam. This thing sorted all those cries out. This thing's firing range with the MIM-146 was 10 kilometers, so half of what the Pantsir can do. Let's go on over Germany with the good old Flakarakarad, the milk truck, the VT1, 12 kilometers. 12 kilometers, okay? Let's do, well, you know what Japan has, the Type 93. Basically a glorified Avenger. 6 kilometers all aspects. So if it's coming at you, you can fire 6 kilometers. Rear aspect, 11 kilometers. One of the worst SPAAs in the game, I gotta say. China. Now this is when I started bitching a little bit about, hey, we need some balancing issues. They get the Tor M1, which is a Russian shore ad. The Tor, if you've played DCS, you know the Tor. It is notorious. It is deadly. The thing sucks to fly against. The Tor M1. This is where I started seeing that we're having a problem. This thing has 12-kilometer launch range, not nearly anywhere near the Pantsir. But the Pantsir has the range, and that is the problem. There is no counter to these SPAAs. We're now at the modern-day level of SPAAs, of these shore ads, where the only thing else we could really add is like S300s, 400s, Patriots, which... And when we go to like shore ads, these are short-range air defense systems, still 20 kilometers. Most of the NATO nations don't have those. It's mainly Russia and China that has invested greatly into it. I'll go into detail about that, but America's reasoning for why we don't have short-range air defense is because our Air Force is our air defense. It's 10 times larger than everything, and we don't need it because we have thousands of planes. So that's kind of the reasoning with it. This thing doesn't have a counter. Now, I'll kind of show you, like, okay, we'll go to America. Let's jump on here to the Apache and talk about, you know, we got the AGMs, the you know, your normal Hellfire. 8 kilometers. You're well within the launch range. These things take typically 4 or 5 seconds to get to its target that you need to be in. You need to watch. You need to kind of keep the lays on it. You're dead before this gets there. I'm going to bring out the F-16, and I'm going to bring up the F-16. The number kind of lies here, and I'm going to tell you why. So, aircraft, obviously you can't fly over it and drop a GBU-10 or a laser-guided bomb. It's going to kill you. I've been killed at 45,000 feet by a Pantsir in a tornado, going Mach 1. It's just not happening, unfortunately. You go to the Maverick, one of your fire-and-forget missiles. This says it has a launch range of 23 kilometers. I'm going to tell you right now, if you've ever got a lock with one of these and a launch and a kill at 23 kilometers, let me know. Please let me know. Majority of the IR, air-to-ground missiles are about 8 nautical miles, if you're lucky. But then it comes into the game's perspective. Are you going to see it at that range? Are you going to see what you're looking at that range? No, because the render distances. Unfortunately, radar doesn't have a render distance, so the Pantsir is going to see you well before you do. And 9 times out of 10, when you spawn one of these in, which when we talk about this more later, I'll have videos of it, The second you spawn in, you're within firing range at an altitude where the Panzer immediately locks and fires at you. And it kind of goes on and on for that. This is the farthest reaching guided weapon that's in the game. And there's no counter to it. There is a counter, but Gaijin doesn't want to add it. It's called anti-radiation missiles. It's a nice little missile that sees the radar, finds the radar, locks to the radar, and you fire it and you fly away. There are multiple aircraft, Russian, American, that can fire these from anywhere from strikes. There's an aircraft in the game that had carried harms, which are the new variants. You got the KH-25 MPU the Russians can carry. The list goes on and on. They haven't added them. They won't add them. I had somebody come and tell me today that on the forums they said that the radars that are in use right now for some of these air defense systems, none of the anti-radiation missiles or the arms can track and see them. If they're talking real life, I don't know what they're talking about, because there's Pantsir S1s dead in Ukraine with harm wreckage all around them. You can find the pictures on the internet. They can be killed. They can be killed. It's just, they don't want to add this counter to it. This is a game where they've done everything about balance, and we don't have balance right now. And it's just, the order is out of whack. You're always going to get those people, though, that are like, I get killed by helicopters all the time and ground. And honestly, back in the day, yeah, you used to. Lately, as of these past year or so, I rarely get killed by a helicopter. I used to be able to take the K-52 up and murder fields worth of people. Now, people are starting to realize more of the capabilities of the SPAA they have available for each nation, and running it is better for their team. So when they die with, their tank, they go and sit in their SPAA and guard everybody. There is one exception. The German Tiger helicopter has a fire and forget missile. Using it can be kind of OP, but lately I think they did a nerf to it. It's not as great as it used to be. It used to just literally track everything and kill it, and it was just super fun to pop up, fire a few, and then just hide and watch all the kills rack up. And I know some people are going to be like, but there's no way to really counter an arm missile. I had an argument on freaking, Twitter about it with some guy, and I'm like, it's not real life, dude. Like, you can easily counter it by turning off, seeing an aircraft. Oh, there's an airplane. Let me turn off my radar real quick. I'm going to move. Hope he fires on my last, where I was. Move, turn your radar back on, engage the aircraft. There's always a counter to everything, and I'm confident that Gaijin can figure out a way to implement this very easily. They're focusing big time on top tier stuff, and we don't even have weapon systems top tier aircrafts would carry. Ground RB is like the big thing right now, and if you can't even bring an aircraft out or spawn it without it dying immediately to the new SPAA you put in, there's obviously an issue. I like the fights because they're all around. I like the tank-to-tank fights. I like tank versus helicopter. I like plane versus helicopter. I like SPAA versus plane. The whole thing is just super fun. I just wish they were bigger maps and it was a little more balanced. Honestly, this game needs 16 VRs. Everything needs to get spread out. I think, a lot of the reason why the BRs are so compressed as they are is because at the time there weren't enough players. Now I don't feel like there's a player problem at all. I used to sit 5-8 minutes in matches in War Thunder just a year or two ago. Now it's like 20 seconds. So I don't think there's an issue with that anymore. I feel like spreading out the BRs and balancing, finding something, you have something that can counter an SPAA. There's a way you can counter it. You can also give SPAA shaft. That'll help, kind of block a little bit of it. Turn off your radar, pop a few shaft clouds, move away. Obviously, we're not going to get the harm E with the GPS where it'll go to the last known location, even if you turn the radar off. But there are ways to counter this. And now you've put this immensely powerful vehicle into the game that denies an entire enemy team the freaking ability to bring any air asset whatsoever. You can bring like a little bird and be sneaky, but you might get one. That's about it. I've only ever gotten one. Every other time I'm getting shot through the woods with 30 millimeters from it. You can outplay it, certainly, but you're not going to outplay it in a jet. You're not going to outplay it with a Hellfire. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. Anything you bring up is likely going to die immediately, so it's a waste of points. So it takes the section of a team that's trying to help the team win, and you're removing it completely, while your team can unimpededly bring up aircraft and stuff, destroy their own SPAAs because they can kind of match within the range, and it just creates this one-sided battle that they're suddenly getting. Anti-radiation missiles need to be an absolute priority for the next update. If I don't, honestly, I'm going to lose all hope in Gaijin if I don't see anti-radiation missiles by summer. Literally, the systems are there. It's pretty much the same system that's in game already. It's just fire and forget. And you just teach it to say, is there a radar? Yes. Well, that's what you fire on. You know, it's like a parse 3. I can see them easily going into the code, copying some of it, changing 1 or 2 parameters, and it works exactly the same. Because right now, it's so bad, 90% of my pants tier footage is me just sitting there. Because no one will bring anything up against it. When they see they're fighting the Russians, they're like, all right, yep, I'm not bringing out a helicopter or an airplane. Nope, not at all. And that was kind of the fun part of it. Be like, oh shit, there's a helicopter shooting at me. Hide for a minute, wait for the SPAA to kill it, then you go out. It was a teamwork effort. You know, you need your SPAA guys. You needed your helicopter guys. You know, everybody was working together to win this. Now you've eliminated completely one side of that part of your team, and now you're at the mercy of everything because there's nothing else in the air that can help you. I'm hoping this gets fixed. I'm kind of tired of these 2S-38s, pansiers, being a thing. You know, honestly, the U.S. doesn't have much more SHORADs to pull out. We got maybe the Avenger we can bring out. What is it, the Crodal? I think the Crodal, or one of them, it's a French design that's on the back of the MLRS. Maybe NASAMs, which are AIM 120s. That's about it. We don't really have much mobile SHORADs just because we don't need them. We have thousands of fighter jets. But Russia, unfortunately, has so much more they can add. Literally, there's so many more SHORADs they could do. And other nations like Japan are absolutely screwed. There's really not else Japan could have. So you kind of built this one-sided with Russia. I'm all for it, but at the same time, everything needs balance. There needs to be balance in the Force, and there's not balance in the Force. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Do you think the Pantsir is a little too OP to be putting into the game right now? Do we need anti-radiation missiles, or is everything just fine and honky-dory? Let me know down in the comments below, boys. Talk to you guys later. Peace.